Walk like an Egyptian. No, we're talking about flat cards. Flat. One layer, that's all there is. Bada bang, bada boom. I'm gonna show you a bunch of different techniques, how you can incorporate flat, one-dimensional, one-layer card. Why am I doing this? I'm gonna show you lots of tips and tricks and wow factors. One-layer cards aren't boring. Who says they're boring? Let's get to it. I'm gonna use a bunch of white cardstock, but none of my cards are gonna remain white. So how about that? First up, we're gonna do some simple masking. All right, so I've got some old purple tape. Any kind of non-tacky tape will work. Just press it on your skin or your clothes or whatever to remove some of the tackiness so you don't tear your paper. Took me a minute for my brain to register the direction in which I need the masking tape to go. Oh yeah, and then I've got 3 different colors of very calm, serene, totally opposite of the mood that I'm in right now. So I've got 3 different colors here, and I am going ahead and ink blending. Now today's video is a little bit shaky. I don't know why. Maybe I'm stronger today. My setup is not any different than any other day, but I will figure this out. So do excuse some of the shakiness. Anyway, I blended on 3 different colors. I peel back that tape softly. Don't rip it up like a Band-Aid so you don't rip your cardstock. Now I've got this beautiful hilltop. No, hilltops don't need to be green. They can be whatever you want them to be. That's what I'm saying. So I've got this fun snowman stamp set here. It's like building a snowman without that tune in your mind of building a snowman. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to hum it here. You're welcome. So anyway, I'm going to use some of that purple tape, and my big frizzy hair gets in the way a little bit just to create a little mask. And I'm going to start building out my snowman scene. Now, why I'm doing that, I do want to thank Skillshare. You know how much I love them for sponsoring my video today. I adore Skillshare. I have learned so much watercoloring. My favorite watercolorist on their platform is Jane Davies. Adore her. I've learned how to paint so many animals, and she does techniques straight out of the tube, which I find are interesting. So I love it. I love Skillshare. I do have a coupon code below for you. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So you can start checking things out. So much more than watercoloring. I mean, they have everything. You want to learn to cook? Guess what? They can teach you. All the information is in the description below for you. So I'm adding hats and a little bow tie and buttons and eyes and lips and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to touch up a little bit on this with a black pen. I decided sometimes I don't keep the actual assembly of the cards in the videos because I focus more on, you know, how to create those beautiful stunners, and then you can just finish off with the sentiment, things like that. But this is a building stamp set, so I thought I would include it. So we've got hats, all kinds of stuff. Here I am. I'm going to go in with a black pen for the eyes. They do have stamps for eyes, but I'm lazy and I like a black pen. I messed up when I inked up my hat, so I can fix it just by using my white gel pen here. And then I'll go in and just do a little bit of this and that with my pen. So if you mess up, sometimes even I mess up on sentiments, and I can just fix it with tongue-tied, going in with a fine tip black pen. Then I'm going to take whatever is left on my blending brush. I did a little blending. It's out of sequence in the video, but I did a little blending earlier, and that ink was still left on the brush, so it just created a very soft glow. And this is Cosmic Shimmer Fluffy Stuff. And on the side it says white fluffy stuff. So of course when I saw that name I went and bought it. But basically you put it down almost like a liquid applique pen back in the day. You put it down, you add your heat gun, and then it puffs it up and it gives you the look of snow. White fluffy stuff. I love it. Here's a look at my finished card, and you can see I did some finishing touches on that hat there with the white gel pen as well. Ooh, stencils. Stencils is another way to get great wow effects on your 1-layer cards. I have a video where I made my own stencils with my Cricut. I will link it below in the YouTube description. You can also make your own stencils with your die cuts. I use some thick stencil plastic paper. I'll link what I use in the description. I grab it off of Amazon, and whether I'm using my Cricut or my die cuts, I use the same paper. If you're using your die cuts, you just run the die cut through like you would just using this stencil paper instead of cardstock. Or you can use cardstock, I guess, as well. try it. But you can make your own stencils if you don't have any. Good God is what I'm trying to say here. And then I'm just going to do some partial stenciling. This is a stencil from Altenew. It's called Woven something. I'll link all the supplies I'm using in the description below. Look how shaky this is. What is going on? I am very sorry. Maybe I ate my Wheaties and spinach and just got a lot stronger. I seriously doubt it, as does my pant size now, but whatever. So I just did some very simple blending there, and then you've got this beautiful one-layered blended background, and I just stamped 2 floral images and a sentiment right over the top. One layer, baby, is where it's at. Scene stamping. Ooh, I love scene stamping, and some of my favorite scene stamps are from Penny Black, just like this one here. So I'm using my Misty. This is a rubber stamp, so I removed the mouse pad or foam pad from inside my Misty stamping tool. This technique is so easy if you have a stamping positioner. So I'm going to go in with a couple different color inks here, and as long as my paper stays in place and my stamp stays in place, it's going to get perfect placement every single time. It is easy for your paper to shift a little bit, so just keep, just check, make sure it doesn't shift every time you lift your stamp, or you'll get a little offset image. So I'll go in with a couple different colors here. All the exact colors I'm using also will be linked in the description below. To avoid harsh lines, I do grab a blending brush and just kind of swipe it along a little bit, just to remove any harsh lines. Total optional. Maybe you want harsh lines, whatever floats your boat. So you can do as little colors as you want or as much colors as you want. Now, if you don't have a lot of inks, you can just go over the same image or the same area over and over with the same ink color, and you'll get yourself some really fun shading there as well. So you do not have to have a whole bunch of ink colors to do this technique. So you can leave it there and be done, or you can take it a step further and do heat embossing. So I have not moved the stamp, I have not moved the paper, I have not moved nothing, nada. So I'll go ahead. I did clean off my stamp between inks. Obviously, you want to do that. Definitely clean it off before you add your embossing ink. That is embossing ink I'm using from Wow. I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. So everything, all the ink colors, the reason why I'm doing this is because all the ink colors are now going to be trapped underneath this heat embossed image. So if I want to go add neon blue to it, all those beautiful calming blues will stay the same. If I want to do orange, I'm still going to, all that blue is going to stay the same, because any water-based ink that you put over the top, now it can't be permanent ink, it can't be archival or anything like that, but any ink you put down over the top, that heat embossed image is now going to resist the ink that I'm placing over the top. If I didn't do that, the yellow would have blended into the blue, and if you know your color theory, when you mix those two colors together, you get brown. So anyway, so I just thought I would go in. There's just something about a yellow and pink sunset. I don't see them often. This time of year is insane. It was pitch black when my daughter had to go to school this morning at 7. And then it's pitch black at like 4:45 in the evening. This is just nuts where I live. But anyway, that's the point. So I went ahead and ink blended my own sunset there. So then go in, add your ink, whatever. The whole point is, because I heat embossed that image, none of the colors are going to mix and get all out of control. So I'll go ahead and sprinkle on a little bit of water down where that water is. That little teal blue is water, if you didn't know, from the scene here. And then I'll just let that dry. That's it. And then I stamped it itty bitty things right there in that gap right there. Did you see that? Perfect gap placement, let me tell you. Ink blending, you can never go wrong on a one-layer card when you do some ink blending. I'm going in with those same 2 colors. I fast-forwarded this because I'm just viciously, instead of just taking the time to re-ink my ink pad, which I should have done because it would have been a lot easier, I decided to not, and now I'm having to ink blend for 50 hours. But anyway, I'm taking those same 2 colors to create a beautiful pink and yellow background. It's just stunning. Re-ink your ink pads, and it would not have taken this long. I'm just saying. It kind of looks like it's turning brown there as you're going over it, but it's not. Just keep going, keep adding colors, keep playing. And the best thing about these inks is they are water reactive, so they leave a beautiful result. That's just nice and calming. All right, speaking of ink blending, you can create a vignette or glow. This is about as easy as you can get for a one-layer card. I've got a hilarious sentiment set. I just think it's funny. I'm finally going to use it. I got it like 4 months ago and haven't used it yet. Lining it up on my stamping tool. You can stamp your sentiment in any colors. You don't always have to do black or gray or brown or whatever. If you're feeling all colorful, go ahead and stamp it in a color, but I'm boring, so I'm going with black here. And then I'm going to take those same colors that I've been using throughout the whole video, and I'm going to go around the edges here. I'm sorry for my shakiness. I don't know what's going on here. Nothing has changed, so my apologies. I'll figure it out at some point. So I'm going in with what's left on those blending brushes. I'm really trying not to pick up any more new ink because I want it to be a very soft glow, a vignette or whatever. I'm probably saying that wrong. And that's it. I mean, if you want to go add some doodads and sprinkles and sparkles and glitter or whatever, I don't care. But I think this is a pretty cool looking card. What do you think? Is my question. What do you think about one layer cards? Do you like them? Do you dig them? Are they scary? Are they fun? Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear from you, and I will see you again for my next video, which I'm pretty sure is going to be on stenciling techniques. What do you think about that?